Good morning, everyone. It's Marty Harger, and I am excited to talk with you today about 8 essential oil tools for a healthier indoor yoga class. Now, the reason I want to talk about this is that as the season has changed, we're now into the autumn time of year. A lot of people are, those of you in the Sun Belt are probably practicing outside, but many of us are in cooler and even cold climates where we are considering the idea of going back into the yoga studio to practice at a safe distance. And given everything that's happening here in 2020, these are some ideas that I want to share with you as a yoga teacher, a yoga studio owner, or as an oils enthusiast. These are some things if you're going to be practicing yoga in an indoor public space that could be really, really helpful. And these are not an either or, by the way, these are all of the above. So the 8 ideas I'm going to give you today are going to be talking about things that whether people are wearing masks or they're not wearing masks, whether they are distanced or not, the concept is that you're creating a way to avoid picking up anything by what you are putting into the air when we're exhaling, obviously, and breathing in yoga. We want to try to create an environment that has the benefit that essential oils, doTERRA's essential oils, can provide. And we also want to make sure that topically we are using essential oils on our hands and on all the surfaces that are going to be touched by the students and the teacher in the yoga environment. So I know that everybody's very conscious of this. Those of you business owners that have a studio space or a classroom space, I know that you're being vigilant about what's all surfaces and things like that and the cleanliness of the area. But I want to suggest these 8 things. So let's get started. The first and number 1 thing is, how are you using oils aromatically? So when we are in the yoga studio, I've got my little diffuser here. I'm going to be using far more essential oil drops than I would normally use in my home, as an example. So if I'm going to use something like the On Guard blend from doTERRA, I'm going to probably put closer to 8 to 10 drops in my diffuser. I'm going to make it quite strong. I don't know if you can see this, but I would be making a combination that would be aromatically significantly stronger than I would probably put in my home environment. And I would encourage you to think about diffusing the essential oils in at least 15 minutes in an enclosed room before the class gets filled, before people start coming into the studio. You want to make sure that you've, like, literally the oils have permeated the environment. When people walk in, they're going to smell this. So when you're teaching your class, you're going to have this running, and not only one, but I would encourage you to think about the corners of the room and where and how that might be appropriate. Now, for some students that are nearby the diffuser, that might be too much. So you need to judge that by playing around with it. But the number 1 thing is diffusing essential oils that have the powerful protective properties that we know exist in the On Guard blend. And so this On Guard blend, is a combination that is wild orange, cinnamon, rosemary, eucalyptus, and clove. So if you think about that, citrus oils, we think about some of the herb oils like eucalyptus and rosemary. Some other choices are basil, thyme. I think oregano is a little strong for diffusing, but if you think about the fact that the spice oils, cinnamon and clove, it could be cassia, it could be black pepper, oils that have an impact therapeutically as they are inhaled aromatically. We know that a lot of the occasional colds and flus of this season we receive them by taking them in through our respiratory tract. So this is really important, that if we're going to try to create this protective space in this yoga studio. So that's number 1, is making sure you are diffusing ample quantities of protective essential oils. Number 2 is to look at giving every student some of the hand sanitizer that they can spray on their hands on arrival in the class and in the studio. And I would encourage you as the teacher to go around and actually spray people's hands. Some of you may have recently, through the doTERRA convention, been exposed to these cool little On Guard hand wipes. This is an alternative to the spray that people could either take a spray, or you could hand them one of these hand wipes, and you could even have it on their yoga mat. You could hand it to them as they come into the class and have them wipe off their hands, because they will have just touched all the handles of the doors coming in, their car door, etc., etc. So get that hand surface topically covered with one of those tools. The number 3 idea I have is to make sure in your public restroom, if you have one in your studio, hopefully you do, that you're using the On Guard foaming hand wash. This is a fantastic tool to keep everybody's hands clean, and we can't wash our hands enough right now, guys. Really, everything, every surface we're touching, very, very important. So the third idea is make sure the restroom, whatever facility you're in, has the foaming hand wash. The fourth idea I have is around this whole idea of social distancing and keeping your distance. But it also relates to the emotional health and well-being of your students. One suggestion I have for you, those of you that are sharing the doTERRA essential oils with others, and teachers who want to help provide the right environment for students who might be just beginning to come back into the class, in the classroom space, is that they're going to have a little bit of anxious feelings. And so some of my favorite oils to give everybody maybe a little mini sample, you could put on the mat areas or the places you have designated where people can put their yoga mats. You could use blends like the Serenity blend. You could use the Peace blend, Adaptive, Balance blend, any of the oils that are blends that are easy to grab a few drops, put them in a little sample and put it on everybody's space. Encourage them to take a couple of drops, rub their hands together, cup it around their nose with a very deep breath, multiple deep breaths. Encourage them to close their eyes and really come to peace with being in the facility with others who they may or may not know, and just make them really feel more calm about being a part of your class and particularly if you're teaching using the essential oils. The number 5 idea is that some people may be wearing masks in your class or coming in with a mask. You might want to offer a mask spray. There's some great recipes for this. I've put some of them on my page here, but just a little quick spray or two of some diluted Breathe blend. The Breathe blend is a respiratory opener from doTERRA, a great choice for that. So that's kind of the 5th idea, is offering a mask spray for people who want to be able to enhance their ability to breathe deeply as they are moving through their asana practice. The 6th idea I have is actually another surface or topical thing. And that is that many of you who use the doTERRA essential oils are probably familiar with the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. This is a phenomenal tool to clean the surfaces of the studio. One of the things, unless students are bringing their own props, is that sometimes people are getting a little bit lax about sharing props. And I would just encourage you to have a spray bottle. And whether you are using hand towels for each student or paper towels, whatever your state requires, excuse me, you're going to be able to have them spray, for instance, a towel. I'll just give you an example here. You're going to spray the towel and you're going to use that. This is just water and On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. You moisten this, or show them how to moisten this. And then they can take their yoga block that they've used and they can wipe it down without destroying the material. They have a chance to use this incredibly great cleaning tool to clean off the surfaces. So important with tools that are, with props that are shared, to have a way to clean them immediately following the class before anybody leaves the classroom. Get them cleaning this off, because they're going to be, at that point, they've cleaned their hands, they've cleaned their mat, they're cleaning the tools. Their hands are some of the cleanest that they'll ever be. So that's a great thing. So I'll go back through these at the end. But those were some ideas topically. Now the last segment of the 2 things I want to talk to you about are how can we help support our students and their health in the classroom. One of the things that might be an idea you might be interested in is having a few of the On Guard throat lozenges and the Breathe throat lozenges available. You might put one or both on the front of the mat area, where you've put perhaps a sample of some calming essential oils for them to use at the beginning of class. That way, if people feel that they are concerned about, maybe someone nearby who seems to be not in the best of health, they can put one of these in their mouth and begin the process of helping strengthen their immune system's ability to fight off anything that's coming their way, or to breathe more deeply with the Breathe throat lozenge. The final idea today I wanted to share, the 8th idea, is using the essential oils internally. Now there are many, many citrus oils that make a great combination, or individual single oils you can drop into a bottle that people have brought on their own, or maybe a cup of water. Demonstrating the idea of internal use of essential oils is fantastic for a healthy immune response. And the citrus oils are the best bet for that because they are full of antioxidants and they're flavorful. So it's a great way for people to be sipping along in the class before or after or during and taking in some gentle impact of the emotional, or excuse me, not just the immune value and also the emotional value as they smell it close to their nose. So today what I wanted to give you is just, as again, a yoga teacher, a studio owner, and a practitioner, and those of you oils enthusiasts that are talking to studios, make sure that you suggest these 8 ways that people can keep their indoor yoga classes healthier, particularly right now and through this winter. Number 1, diffuse essential oils and more than we had normally been thinking of, more drops than normal. In the topical category, there were 5 ideas. Hand sanitizer for everybody on arrival, or these little wipes. The second thing was using the On Guard foaming hand wash in the restrooms, making sure that when people keep their distance, they come into class and have a little emotional boost so they can calm themselves and be at ease to practice with you indoors. And then having a tool that they can clean their yoga blocks with, or any props that they're using. The final 2 ideas are about internal use of the doTERRA essential oils. That would be offering a lozenge for people, either an On Guard or Breathe or both. And you could even put that at their yoga mats. Also encouraging people to put some of the citrus oils in their water and drink that and sip it regularly to get those wonderful antioxidants into their system, keep their immune system as strong as possible. The final thing I want to say is that this is a season when the weather's cold, and especially people start downward dogging, that, maybe this is like a big duh for those of you that teach yoga, but make sure you have Kleenex handy for people, because people get runny noses this time of year, and we don't want them, wiping and then touching, right? We want them to use a Kleenex or a tissue and then having a place to dispose of it. That's a given, right? But make sure that that's the case. Anyway, I hope that these are some ideas that are going to help you and those that you practice with to keep a healthier environment this winter season. This is a great time, particularly in October, to make these a normal part of the practice, creating a classroom environment that not only smells fabulous, but provides the kind of therapeutic essential oil support and the protective care that our plant medicines offer us. So I encourage you to try to make use of these in as many ways as possible. The doTERRA essential oils, as certified pure therapeutic grade, offer you the kind of strength and protection and purity that I know you want in your environment for yourself and for your students. I hope these ideas were helpful, and I've just got one other suggestion for today. Please make sure you vote, and wishing you all a wonderful, healthy, and happy week, and I'll look forward to talking with you again soon. Take good care, everyone. Namaste.